Manolo, we are facing a very new challenge today, which is, as many said, it's an invisible enemy. That is the virus. I think in the past, many of our work, especially some figures like you, have been really committing to this struggle of opening a space of discussion through artistic activities about how to face all kind of political challenge and how to face certain kind of enemies. But today, facing this invisible enemy, what's your thought? How do you feel you can face it?
My thought is first, I would point that I don't think it's an enemy. Because enemy, many people here, and I suppose everywhere, they are talking about we are in a war, we have to fight the virus, we have to fight this, we have to win this war. But it's not a war, it's a collapse of the system failed totally. And I think it failed in two aspects which are crucial. One has to do in ecological terms. I mean, very clearly, now the virus, which is something minute, something microscopic, but then a few months ago, it was the fires of Australia or California. So clearly, in a big scale and in a small scale, it's obvious that the human being is very fragile, is nothing, and unless we change and we start thinking in terms of ecosystem, in terms of biosphere, in terms of other species, I mean, we are getting closer to probably another extinction. That's one. Second, and I think that will be very, very important, is I mean, clearly many of us we were very critical with many things, but it's very difficult to change the system when the system is full speed. You know that Immanuel Wallenstein used to say that the system is like a machine, and when it's going very hard, if you put the hand, the machine cuts your fingers. But now the machine is stopped. I mean, it's really frozen, and it will be like that for a couple of years, clearly, or for a year and a half at least. And in a year and a half, we will not have these huge exhibitions. We will not have these masses of tourists. And I think it's our challenge. I think our challenge is double. On the one hand, to rebuild the system out of the ruins, to rebuild something more than the system. And then our challenge is what we want to rebuild. I mean, I don't think we can rebuild what actually we knew it was not working. We have to think something else. And that something else, to me, it has to do with cares. I think cares, it will be very important. A space of affection, it will be very, very important. I think that's one. Related to that is how you become critical and at the same time convivial. I think that element, is going to be also very, very important. And then time. I mean, normally we were visitors of fairs, visitors of exhibitions. The other day, Marco Baravalle in a text mentioned that more than visitare, we should change the verb for habitare. We should start living in places. I mean, there are many ways to live. Probably we'll have to be more local. And there is a danger. I mean, how to be local without becoming nationalistic, without self-enclosing ourselves. I think one clue comes from Donna Haraway. I mean, when she talks about being local and being connected and being tentacular. So to us, to me, that's the challenge that institutions we have. Of course, we have two speeds there. One, the long speed is this type of new dispositives, new type of museums. But another one, and you are a museum director, is how to survive. Because it's a problem of money, it's a problem, as you know, the art system is very precarious. And how we manage to change things and at the same time surviving, making that our ecosystem doesn't collapse in this pandemic. So I think that's one of the major challenges.